Good morning, everybody. I almost said afternoon,
You almost
Josh,
said
because
afternoon.
I've been up so long, and you've probably been up so long. It feels like afternoon already.
It feels like it's been a day already. I started on the square at 7 a.m. this morning, so I'm on cup of coffee number two. So
Number
yes,
two. That's impressive,
number
Josh.
two. So yeah, we had a little race. Went off the square. Runners blasted off a little bit after 8 o'clock. A little 5K. I did not run. I just took pictures of the runners.
Is that thing
so
over now?
It's over now.
All right.
Yeah,
Well,
it's over now.
at
So
about
the
8
race part
o'clock,
is,
at
yeah.
8 o'clock, it was total chaos trying to get around the square. Everybody forgot, and everybody headed toward the square for some reason.
Yeah.
And it was a log jam, man. People were backing up, turning around, and
There was 1,100 plus runners, they said. So yeah, it was a big crowd. And then I accidentally upset a deputy on my way out. I had parked on a part. I looked where the map was, where the race was, and I intentionally parked so I wasn't anywhere in the racetrack. And they had still blocked off the block that I was parked on, and
you couldn't get out.
I couldn't get out. I had to get to the VFW and have my sausage and eggs. So I drove around a barrier, and he wasn't happy with me.
Well,
so.
Did he arrest you?
No, he didn't.
I didn't
he
get
threw
a
his
call
hands up in the air, and I apologized. I said, "I'm sorry." I said, "I got to get to the VFW and get my breakfast." So
what did he say?
He said, "Okay." So he moved a couple
let you
cones.
slide. Okay.
He let me slide. I knew I wasn't driving on the race. I knew where the race was going, and I wasn't there. I got blocked in from both ends. I couldn't get out. So.
Speaking of law enforcement, you gotta love these guys.
Yeah.
I was driving to Virginia this week. I took a little trip.
Yeah.
And up around Sparta, I was coming into Sparta on the 4-lane, Highway 70. And I see blue lights all of a sudden. So I pull over, and this state trooper came up on the right side because the traffic was out on the left, and he knocked on the window. He said, "I clocked you doing 70 and a 55. I said, "Oh, I thought it was 65. He goes, "Well, everybody does." He said, "Do you have your driver's license?" And I gave him the stuff, and he took, and he came back, and I said, "I just did not realize this was a 55. He said, "Well, nobody does." And he said these words, "It's kind of a speed trap."
Oh, well.
And he said, "Just remember the next time you come through here," and he gave me my stuff back and did not write me a ticket because
that was very nice.
Hey, let me tell you something. If you act respectful to law enforcement, they're going to be respectful back.
Yeah.
They're just doing their job.
Yeah, he was just doing his job. So,
yeah.
And he thought you looked like a reasonable, friendly.
Well, I don't know about that, but
yeah.
All right. But anyway, we've got our two law enforcement stories out of the way. What else you got coming up today, Josh, that you want to tell?
We could run down the rest of the day real quick. This is for me, this has always been the busiest weekend of the year as far as events around Bedford County. So I've done two. I did a 5K, which did not involve me running 5K. I want to get that out of the way. I attended.
Okay.
And I had breakfast at the VFW. I'm leaving here. We got Art in the Park going on at H.B. Griffin Park. I think that runs from now until about 4 o'clock. Going to leave there, head over to the Celebration Grounds. We got the Celebration City Regional Car Club is their biggest annual car show of the year. They will have trophies lined up across tables, across the ground. They give out a bunch of trophies. So that is
they
going
usually
on.
Have a lot of nice-looking vehicles sitting in there.
A lot of nice-looking vehicles. They will be there. The judging, I think, starts at noon, but cars probably have already started showing up over there. But definitely by noon, there'll be a lot of cars over there. Going to leave there and head up to the big town of War Trace. It's Strawberry Festival Day. They start about 9 o'clock. I think they're going till 4 maybe. I will not be going. However, I did find out the last minute there is a 7th event I'm going to miss. Hall's Mill is having some kind of a market/car show today.
Oh, wow.
Calling it the first annual, I think, even. So I think they're planning on this being an event. So,
man,
I can't get to War Trace in Hall's Mill.
You need a clone today,
Josh.
Josh.
So, and then when I leave the Strawberry Festival, I'm headed to the First Choice Fish Fry. This is the 20th annual of that.
Boy, it don't seem like it's been 20 years since they've started
20th annual, and they have the Huffer Brothers singing from 3 to 4, and then they're frying up fish. And then I believe they have a live auction that usually starts about 4:30.
And that auction gets a little bit rowdy.
Get a little rowdy. It's not raining this year. Last year it rained on us. So this year, knock on wood. I mean, it's not.
This has been one of those events. It's probably one of the most well attended of any fundraisers you'll ever see.
Very big event. Big event. So and it happens to be an election year. So anybody that's politicking,
I'm sure
is going to be at these. I saw some politicking at breakfast, and I saw some politicking.
Surely not, Josh.
And they're going to be politicking at the Fish Fry. Probably will be at the Strawberry Festival. There might be at the car show.
If you had to define politicking, what is that?
I think that's where you go and you shake babies and kiss hands. Is that what they
kiss
say?
hands and shake?
I get the other way around. Maybe it's the other way around. But
gain favor.
To gain favor with the people. So
okay,
I think they're trying to win votes. That's politicking. So there'll be a lot of politicking today. So,
all right.
yeah.
Well, let's hear from our sponsors, and then we're going
We'll
to
talk
run
about
down
the
about the
week that
week.
just happened.
A lot happened, but I think we're going to go through this pretty quick this morning.
I'm hoping so. If we don't chase a lot of rabbits, I got a lot of stuff
because
to do
you've
today,
got to go
so
and clog over to Strawberry.
I got to get my clogging on.
Yeah.
So,
Well, we want to thank our sponsors, Cutting Edge Optical, Dennis Young Insurance, and the Dream Team.
Yes, from
the
Coldwell
Arnolds.
Banker.
Coldwell
Yes.
Banker. Let's hear from them, and we'll be right back.
Yep.
For clear vision and trusted care, choose Cutting Edge Optical. We offer comprehensive eye exams powered by 20/20 exams, expert contact lens fittings, and a wide selection of quality frames to match your style and budget. Need glasses fast? We even offer same-day eyeglasses to keep you seeing clearly without the wait. Our experienced team is committed to personalized service and helping you see your best every day. Visit Cutting Edge Optical at 1114 North Main Street in Shelbyville, or call 931-488-5778 to schedule your appointment today.
Get the results you want with the personalized service you deserve at Dennis Young Insurance Agency.
As a local independent agency, we offer coverage from several different companies, including Erie. So whether it's auto, home, life, personal, or business, we can find the right coverage to meet your unique insurance needs. And with a rate lock advantage, your rates won't go up as long as you do not change drivers, autos, or addresses. Contact us at Dennis Young Insurance Agency, insuring Shelbyville and surrounding areas since 1988.
When you're ready to buy or sell in Middle Tennessee, you want someone who knows this community inside and out. Meet Diane and Madison Arnold, Shelbyville's trusted real estate team with decades of local experience and award-winning results. Whether it's finding your dream home, pricing your property to sell, or navigating every step of the transaction with confidence, they're with you from start to finish. As part of Coldwell Banker Southern Realty, they pair hometown expertise with powerful market tools to help you move with confidence. Call Diane and Madison today and experience the personal service and local knowledge that makes all the difference.
All right, Josh, let's dive into the events of the week.
The events of the week, I'm actually going to do something a little different than the way we do it normally. I'm going to cover the top 3 stories that we posted this week as far as the amount of engagement we got.
Yeah.
And then I've got a couple other stories we're going to cover after that. I'll run down them in order from the top down to the 1 to 3. So top story, and 75 people have weighed in on this, watched it, or commented.
How many?
Or 75,000.
Oh, I thought you said 75. I thought, man, that would happen in the first 13 seconds.
In the first few seconds. So yeah. We actually posted 2, but this one got the most traction of 2. We posted 2 articles, updates on what happened with the Uncle Nearest case this week. As is often the case, this is the thing when I'm out and about that I get the most questions on. Generally, where are things at with that? Still a big impact locally on the economy and what's happening. There, as we know, there was a bankruptcy filing a few weeks ago that got shot down. There's an appeals process going on the bankruptcy to try to get it back into bankruptcy court. There was a filing, I think it was Thursday, is the one that got the most interest, where there was a statement that was filed with the court from the CEO, Fawn Weaver. And basically, it was her saying she came up to Shelbyville, which she did last weekend on Saturday, and was, I don't know that she used the word shocked, but I'll use the word for her. She felt like she was kind of shocked to find the state of things at the facility as far as attendance and what was going on. And all the numbers way down as far as she gave a bunch of stats as far as number of people coming in and off the property, doing the tours and whatnot. And obviously we live here and drive by it, so we kind of see that.
Yeah.
So I can see it driving by. So I've driven by it the whole time I've lived here. Things are definitely down there. Obviously, I think you could probably guess it's related to all the court stuff situation that's going on. So what she and Uncle Nearest have asked for is to be allowed to file bankruptcy. What the initial ruling from the first judge is that she doesn't have standing to file bankruptcy anymore. It's in receivership. So that attorney that's running the receivership is the only one that the first court said has legal standing to file bankruptcy. And that's where the appeal is.
All right, back to the bankruptcy, Josh, just for people's clarification. What bankruptcy did she file for? Chapter 11?
It was an 11. It was 11.
Not a Chapter 13.
No, it was 11 reorganization.
Right.
So basically everything rests with the one judge, Judge Atchley. He's hearing both the initial case that led to the receivership, and he is also hearing the bankruptcy appeal. He had a court hearing back in February in which he indicated he would rule quickly on 2 motions that sat before him. And I don't, deal in the federal courts a lot, but his definition of quickly and my definition of quickly are 2 different definitions. Now, he may be held up by the fact that the bankruptcy thing happened. That may have messed up the initial motions. But either way, the person in charge, as we sit here, is the receiver. There's definitely been a decrease in their business. She had the numbers. I don't think anybody disputes the fact that their business is way down from what it was a year or 2 ago. So we're just waiting on the judge to rule. So I don't know.
We'll have to wait. Just have to wait and see.
We just have to kind of wait and see where that goes. So that's the status as we have it. We have not been for a while there. The court rule filings were coming fast and furious, and we had 1 or 2 things a week. This week was kind of unusual in recent memory because 2 different big filings, but generally some of the smaller procedural stuff I've just been staying away from it.
It's not a factor.
Yeah, we get both sides. We get people that are like, why aren't you telling us what's going on? And then once you do 2 or 3 in a week, then
you're obsessed with it.
You're obsessed with this case. So you can't win either way.
Well,
so
Josh, honestly, back to what you said about our economy, how it affects the local economy. This is probably one of the biggest news stories maybe in my lifetime. And I've been around a minute or 2.
Yeah.
And it really is. But this is equivalent. It's not really equivalent of Jack Daniels going bankrupt or going out of business. That would be bigger. But it's what the potential that this had to begin with looked like on the front end
versus
quickly diminished. Right, it's like it is a huge story.
Yeah, and it is a big part of the tourism picture for Bedford County.
The
potential tourism picture. And it was a big part of tourism before it started falling off. And they still do get, I drive by sometimes and they have big events from time to time, but it's a shell of
tapered
what it
down.
was, a year or 2 ago. So we'll wait and see where that goes. I continue to get up. I get direct notification I'm set up on a notification system that notifies me from the federal court when anything comes in.
Right.
So we'll post as soon as we see anything. Second biggest story of the week, as far as the number of people that paid attention to it here, this one had over 60,000 views, was the state legislature this week redistricted our congressional district for the state of Tennessee. This was focused around as far as at the state level, it focused around what the impact on Memphis. But to us locally in Bedford County, this is a big shift because we have been in Scott Desjardins' district going back to, I had it in the article, I want to say 2011, but don't quote me on that. Go look at the article we posted. However, he has, every week, we have my friend Lynn Davis, who works for him, is in our local courthouse.
Right.
And if you have an issue that rises to the fact that you think it needs something to do with federal issue of any kind, you can go in and meet with her and talk to her every week. He will not be representing us after the end of this year.
Oh, are we still under his umbrella?
We are still until the election, till the next round gets sworn in at the House. However, once he does, we will then have somebody, and we don't know who it is yet. We don't even know everybody that's running yet, representing us, that will also be representing a third of Memphis and all the way up into a portion of Smyrna, Laverne, and Franklin. So we don't know who it is. We'll see how it shakes out, and let's be optimistic. But honestly, you got to think that if I'm somebody that's representing that big of a swath of area, we may not, as we're going to be small potatoes.
We're out on the fringe.
We're going to be a little fish in a big pond at that point. Will we get as much local representation once that all shakes out?
You got to think, no, that thing is stretched out across
it's a very long,
half of
stretched
Tennessee
out territory now. So will the new person, whoever that is, will they have somebody here in Bedford County once a week? I don't know. We won't know until it happens.
A question.
Yeah.
We had candidates already starting to campaign in Bedford County.
You had somebody contact you that wanted to come on and do the show.
I had 2 that were running for Desjardins that we were going to sit down with interviews. That's over with now.
That's over. They're not
going to be,
unless
they don't need our votes.
Switch and want to run in the 9th. Now they have candidates have until next Friday to requalify to be if they want to be in the 9th district. So, and there are some new ones coming in, but the ones I've heard from that we've seen so far that have announced have not been local to our area.
There's a Taylor. What's the Taylor guy?
Is it Taylor? He is the one that's gotten the big endorsements from our 2 states, to our 2 Senate representatives here from the state.
And
of Tennessee.
he's from West Tennessee. So.
He is. Now, somebody posted in our comments that he has ties to this part of Middle Tennessee, some family ties. So maybe that makes him more likely to have somebody in this area eventually.
I don't know, but
So,
this is going on across the country.
we're
We're seeing realignment. You're seeing both parties trying to capture and lock in their representation so that it could possibly never change in the near future.
Well, the goal here is, and we don't get into a lot of the federal stuff a whole lot, but just the goal, I know, because we have a heavily Republican state legislature. We've got 8 out of 9 in our federal delegation that are currently Republicans. They're trying to go 9 out of 9 Republicans going to Washington, and that's why they've done all this. But it could leave people like us a little bit in the lurch as far as representation.
Yeah.
So we'll see where that goes. And then the third most engaging story we had this week was the which I honestly didn't think this would be much of a thing, other than just it was a press release we got and we posted it. Tennessee Walking Horse National Celebration got a $2.7 million of money from the state to upgrade the RV park. And I do want to clarify what that is, because I know you and Bo may have talked about it.
Yeah,
so
we talked a little bit about it,
and the word grant was used a couple times. This is actually not a grant.
No.
This is a direct appropriation in this year's budget to the celebration. The reason I think for this, I wasn't involved in this, even behind the scenes, but we've got a governor, obviously Governor Lee, that's been in office for 8 years, and he's not running for re-election. And there's been different areas of the state that have been good to him, and we have been. I think he's won fairly strongly here, and he's got some friends that are here in our local representative body, and he's done a couple of these. This is the only one announced. There will be more announcements on bigger ones than this coming down the road, where he has put stuff in the budget directly for Bedford County on his way out of office. It's kind of a thank you. In Washington, they call this pork a little bit.
Yeah,
it's a little, but there's some positives. I know we had a lot of negative comments, which that's what I didn't expect a lot. A lot of people saying, hey, the state is spending money. Why don't they spend it on school lunch program and this and that? The reason for this particular investment of money is because it will bring a return down the road over many years. This isn't just a one-time influx and then the money goes away and we spend it.
Yeah.
This, by upgrading the RV park, the hope is they can use this more year-round to bring in RV traffic apart from the big events. And every time somebody stays in an RV in this RV park, they pay a daily fee,
tax,
which goes to hotel, motel. But additionally, if they're staying in an RV in Shelbyville, they're probably going to fill up with gas here, and they're probably going to eat here, or they may go to Walmart, or they may go to Kroger. Whatever they do here, they don't live here, but they're spending sales tax dollars, and that money goes directly into the school system.
Yeah. So
that is the reason that they made this. I understand, everybody can say, I mean, we got a lot of potholes, man. It sure would have been nice if we spent
definitely
2.7 on potholes. But if you had spent 2.7 on potholes, your potholes would have been fixed for a couple of years, but then they would have gone bad again, and you wouldn't have gotten any more out of the money.
This
is money that generates money.
This whole thing was under the guise of tourism,
right?
And in Bedford County, our crown jewel still is the Tennessee Walking Horse National Celebration when you bring visitors in.
Yeah.
In a big lump and in big lumps, possibly. Right. All right. So you've got several events over there, and a lot of these events now, they're in areas that are very similar to Shelbyville, because I go to them. I went to Lexington, Virginia this week.
You were there this week?
Okay. Yeah. There's like 3 hotels close to this venue.
Right.
And then they got a huge campground. Well, guess what? Their campground was full.
It was full.
Yeah. The hotels were not full.
Yeah.
I got a room just like that. Walked in, got it. But the campground at the facility, and it's like the entire equestrian world has graduated up to these $1 million motorhomes.
Their motorhomes cost more than my house.
Their Prevost, and all these.
Yeah.
So when you have a vehicle like that, you want to get a upscale place to stay, and having concrete slabs to park on and an upgrade over there is going to enhance that.
Yeah.
And it adds a little bit more to what Cooper Steel has done to the arena, and to the overall ground. So I think the $2.7 million sounds like a lot, but when you start doing this type of stuff, it eats up quick. So, but any upgrade we can get to this facility over here is better for Shelbyville and Bedford County.
That is the long-term goal. Yes. And I think, hopefully that will all play out, but that's the reasoning. That's why they did it. And, they saw a chance to get a return on the investment.
And Josh, we have not had an influx of government money into that facility over there in 30 years. You might see a little bit here and a little dime there, but this is the first big influx from a government entity into this facility. So
that was the reasoning. I understand the comments, but that's why they did it. So, and that's how it happened. So it's straight in the budget. They're gonna cut a check and they're gonna do it. They'll make a further announcement as far as what the upgrades are. I believe it involves like concrete slabs for the RVs and some infrastructure, like maybe some sewer water kind of stuff. So,
probably some rewiring. Some of that stuff
could be electrical. So that was that. As far as other things that were not in the top three, but other big stories locally, we had a little election on Tuesday.
Yeah, just a little one.
This is primary. There's only 3 contested races. We've got the numbers on our Facebook post. I don't really need to go all the way through them, but we did have Mr. Chad Fletcher won the Republican primary for county mayor, so he will be on the ballot with 5 other candidates?
Adam Vanderkeen, Misty Peller, Troy Thompson, of course Chad himself, and then Kurt Cobb.
It seems like you missed somebody there, but I don't know. I want to say we have 6.
Jordan Malone. It's going to be
6. 6. So we have 6 candidates that are going to be in the August race. County Commissioner District 1, this was the closest race of the night. This was the most contested one, I feel like, out of all these. We had Jared Featherstone came in first, Eric Maddox second, and Mark McBryant third. This is another one of those races that we point to every so often in local politics that says every vote counts. This was a 23 vote margin. What that means is it would have only taken 12 people changing their mind. It would have flipped it. So that's why turnout's important. I didn't even start with turnout. I should have led with turnout. We had, again, as we've had recently in local elections, particularly primaries, 13% turnout, which means 87% didn't show up for this, didn't feel like it was important enough to show up and vote, or they didn't know about it, or whatever reason they didn't vote in this.
And you know what? That's unfortunate. I think there's still, no matter how much you talk about it, Josh, people are still confused about what a primary is. I just ran into somebody this morning that said they were going to vote for a candidate that just got put out. I said, no, you're not.
Yeah.
What are you talking about? What are you talking about? That person did not win the primary, so they're not in.
They're not going to be in the general election.
I can't vote for that person. I said, no, you cannot.
Nope.
And that's sad that we don't have the outlay or the education. We've not been taught this in school.
Right.
So we have to kind of figure it out on our own. It's confusing for some folks. But the 13%, Josh, was that up from 2022 at all? Or is it about
I didn't
the
pull
same?
the 2022 number. It feels like it's in the general vicinity. It is up from the 2024 primary, which was our worst turnout ever, which I believe came in under 8%, closer to 7%. So that was the really bad one. But this still, that's
so
the
big news to me of that whole situation was the turnout.
Yeah, I think of the whole thing, the turnout. Yeah, and then the other contested race was assessor property, and you had Emily Red Hodges won that with 60% of the vote. So she's moving on. She does have an independent running against her in the general election, as does Tanya Davis won, even though she was uncontested. She's got a contestant running against her. And then Nikki Elliott won in the sheriff's, but he was uncontested, but he has somebody running against him in the general. So the general has a lot more contested races, so I would expect a lot bigger turnout. I want to circle real quick back and just read a comment because I appreciate comments come in. Miss Jody Barnes Turner has commented on the RV park, saying also maybe the new RV park will increase tourism because we now are providing additional space that is needed to promote economic growth, and that is the whole concept of that park. It's not just the horse events,
right?
If it can be open year round and a place for people to stay, maybe some big event we're having in town that doesn't even need to be on the celebration grounds. This is a place for you to come into town and stay.
I'm not sure what that is, but I bet the Bell Buckle Craft Trade show, the Bell Buckle Craft Fair, brings a ton from all over the country.
From all over.
There's a possibility
that could be a spot that they could stay if they had an RV. So yeah, there's a lot of other things other than just equestrian events that you could do with that. So other big event of the week, because I was at this one. It's not big because I was there, but it's big because it was the only big government meeting that had some stuff going on. This was the City of Shelbyville Mayor and City Council study session. We met for about an hour and 15 minutes and went over what we're going to be voting on next week at the City Council meeting. Soccer field. We had talked about this one, I think, already. We got bids in on the new soccer complex over at HV Griffin. We were very fortunate and got a bid in that was well below what we expected. So, which does not usually happen, especially one of this size, and the margin was huge. So Which the good news of that is there is now money left over. Even after they put the fields in, they're going to put sod so they can. He mentioned. I'd said last week I did a lot of caveats that we could be playing on these fields in the fall. It was mentioned at the study session we could be playing on these fields in the fall because we're putting sod down.
Yeah.
But there's enough money left over that in addition to the fields and the parking, which was in the bid package, they're going to go out for a second package now and try to get bids to. I believe fence everything off and put in a bathroom facility and a concession stand and a storage facility. If all that comes to fruition and comes in under bid, the only missing piece to the puzzle to make this what you would consider to be a top tier kind of a soccer. Well, there's a couple pieces, but the next piece in the puzzle would be lights. Lighting would be another 1.4 million. They're thinking we're going to find funding for that. And then if you really want to get top tier based on what's happening in other markets around us now, you got to get some artificial turf on at least one of the fields. And that will be something they will definitely look at.
Well, that's big. That's big.
Near future. If they could get all that, the lighting and some artificial turf.
Could I just throw in a public service announcement here? Not going to chase a rabbit.
Yeah.
And not going to open this up for discussion. I'm just going to make a comment.
Yeah.
I've been going to some ball games this year at the park complex, and it's at the Little League fields.
Yeah.
The Little League fields are nice. We have a lot of kids playing ball. We have a big crowd there just about every night.
Yeah.
That got a nice concession stand. They have nice restroom facilities. However, if we don't start taking care of our restroom facilities and our facilities overall, and what I mean by that is not on the park complex or those guys over there trying to take care of things. I'm talking about just as people using it, we will see things not get done, because I've gone into the bathroom several times and the way people treat the public bathrooms is horrendous. I honestly, I don't know if it's kids playing around, messing around. If you've got kids that are going to the bathroom, oversee them, go check them out, make them clean up after themselves, and don't steal the toilet paper. I mean, I'm just, it's so sad. We spend our taxpayers' money for this stuff, and we're going to build a soccer field with restrooms. But I'm telling you, you cannot use one of these restrooms after about 15 minutes because they get destroyed.
Right.
And it's something that we as a public need to take care of.
Yes.
I'm just saying out there, we get this stuff. If we don't take care of it, what's the point? It's awful. Okay. It's really
bad.
bad.
In the nicest facility in the world, but if you don't,
I mean, outside of you guys hiring an attendant to stand in there, it's getting destroyed. I'm telling you, it's terrible.
Yeah.
And I'm like, who does this?
Right.
You never can find anybody that does it, but you just see the results.
You just see what it looks like.
So everybody out there, talk it up. Let's take care of our stuff.
Yes. Take care of our facilities.
Right. So that's enough. Off my soapbox.
Good PSA.
All right.
Good PSA. Next up that we're looking at on the council, we'll be voting on an expansion at the airport. This is the expansion of the taxi lane and a run-up pad. This is all part of getting more hangar space in there for the continued growth of the airport. It's growing pretty quick. MTSU obviously is a big part of that, but there's a lot of other private growth that's happening out there.
What kind of growth we got going on? People hangering?
More people with more planes.
Really?
Flying. Yes. So there's as far as I know, there's still a waiting list of people that would like to have their.
That's unusual.
Here. So so it keeps getting bigger. So employee health insurance. It is, we're in May. Our insurance renewal is coming up July 1st. Oddly enough, they want to raise the prices. So I know that's shocking. But so actually, I spent I say a good chunk. I spent about half of my week. We had several meetings, phone calls, negotiations, as it was, with the insurance company. I think we've gotten a better offer than we had initially a week ago. So we're actually going to meet on that this Thursday morning as a committee in a public meeting and discuss the new opportunities there. And then we have to vote on that Thursday night. So,
this is something that we all have to deal with every year, it seems like. Everything's getting higher and higher.
This year, the pushback from the insurance company, which is Blue Cross as the main carrier, is just the cost of all these, they call them specialty drugs, the ones that they run the commercials on the TV for.
Right.
They have paid out for the city of Shelbyville, which we're 240-ish employees, maybe 250, 242. Either way, last 15 months, almost $1 million just for the drugs, just for the drugs. And that's not not the fake price, where they give you the price and they pay a little amount. That's the actual check.
That's what's been written
that they have written out. For
Man,
drugs.
Let me tell you something, y'all. We are, this is another topic, but that's the first thing that's, well, let's put you on the pill. Let's put you on this. And that's automatic.
Yeah.
Every treatment now is about a pill.
Yeah, or an injection. All these,
Yeah.
the fancy ones that cost a bunch, some of them
Yeah.
are injections. So yeah, it's
We got to look at her health a little closer individually.
yeah. Well, and that whole let's
It's a
we
whole
way
nother
go off
rabbit.
on a rabbit
Oh,
trail
big
on,
time,
on
big time.
insurance and medical, but yeah. A couple tourism grants that we're going to consider and we'll be voting on Thursday. We've got the Health Hot Rods and Veteran Fair, which happened at the Music City Cartplex last year and is moving
Yeah.
into the city limits this year. We're looking at a tourism grant for them. The Juneteenth celebration, and then the annual Tennessee Chili Cook-Off. So we'll vote on all those. We've got 1, 2, 3 spots on the Power Board. One of which will be filled by a city council person and 2 by citizen members. We actually are going to meet early this coming Thursday and do interviews, and then we get vote on those Thursday night.
Yeah.
There's a charter change, which that's related to the city council person that's going on the Power Board. And then one of the big ones for me, we have the option for an initial motion on the senior tax freeze on the city side coming up Thursday night. Some of this is dependent on what happens at the Tuesday county commission meeting. My feeling is, being one on the city council side of it, no matter what happens Tuesday, we're going to need another little bit of time to go back and negotiate with them, depending on which way they go on it. I would still like the city to look at it independent of the county, even if they decide not to go that way. But in order to do that, we need to have some understanding with a couple of those offices. So if, for instance, the county were to say no Tuesday night, I would hope that we could get a motion passed on Thursday that would allow the city attorney and our treasurer to negotiate with them and bring us back a proposal to vote on the following month. Even if the county were to vote yes on Tuesday, I think the same process would need to happen. We need to get an agreement with them and then be able to vote on it the following month. But either way, I'm still.
I know there's people
optimistic.
still out there talking about this. It's a big topic.
Yeah.
Right now, 94% on our poll are in favor of this tax freeze going through immediately. So that's
yeah, and I think it's still something we can do. There have been we've got so many stats surrounding this, but there's 63 other local governments in the state of Tennessee have passed this and implemented it, offer it to their senior citizens. 2 out of 3 people that live in the state of Tennessee, which would be seniors particular, because that's who it affects, live in a jurisdiction that offers this tax free. So it's a program that's been around. It's coming up on 20 years next year. I don't think there's anything special about us that we wouldn't be able to implement it just like the other ones do. We've got a great trustee that's about to go back into office. We are going to have a new assessor, but I feel like she's more than capable of handling this program. I think we got the people in place. We've got the opportunity. I think we should do it. I don't know how the vote's going to go. That's just my personal opinion.
Well, so if the people are represented, it'll be overwhelmingly in favor. So
that is the case. Unfortunately, it's politics, and there'll be politics involved.
Of course.
So we'll see how it goes. We'll definitely talk about it next Saturday. Not really last, but probably last thing I'll touch on, but not least, this will be probably the final and deciding vote on the Remington Farms Plan Unit development over on Union Street. It is up for a second reading, public hearing, and it could, if the vote went in the positive direction, it would become law. If it went the other direction, it wouldn't become law.
Okay,
so
that was the question. So even though
though
you've already had one reading that passed, the second reading can nullify and it's over.
It could go either way. I mean, technically, somebody could defer. I don't think at this point anybody's got.
No, but if let's say it does get to a vote,
this is definitive.
Let's say it's turned down. It's over.
It's over.
You got to wait a year to re.
Well, they can come back next month
and alters. Okay,
they come back next month with different.
So you don't. It's not like just because it passed the first reading, it's got to pass the second reading. It can't say, well, we got to revote. It's just over.
You can't kick it back to a first. All right. This will be a definitive vote unless somebody were for some crazy reason to want to kick the can down the road again. This is going to be. It's either going to come out of that meeting and become law, or it's going to come out of that meeting and not be law. So that's the direction that's going to go. And then last but not least, in the past week, and this is actually an upcoming thing, and I promised I would cover this, so I am. Over at the historic courthouse on the square on the main floor where the mayor's office is. And, if you walk up the stairs, it's the floor you get to. There's a display there. I posted a picture on our Facebook. Yes. We have coming up the 2026 Bedford County Time Capsule, celebrating America's 250th anniversary. And they are asking for residents of Bedford County, if they have something they think might be of interest to people that are going to dig this up in 50 years, that they are able to submit that item to the office there. What is it? I don't know. There's an office there anyways, and I'm drawing a blank on which office is accepting these, but it's all on it's on the post.
Yeah.
Go to the courthouse. You can pick up this packet, which has all the
Right.
information. I haven't even opened this one, but in this has the answer to the question that I'm forgetting. But go down there, get a packet. Obviously, the time capsule is it ain't huge, so you
Yeah.
can't submit a huge item, but you can submit, writings. I think they said somebody submitted a book already. That's, just stuff that you think might be of interest to people in 50 years. It's the archives. Archives is who's accepting
Okay.
this. And you have to submit this to them with the application filled out. They'll let you know if they've accepted it to go in. They're going to bury this time capsule underground next to the courthouse on July 3rd as part of a ceremony. And then 50 years later, which I don't think you or I will be there for the second ceremony, they will dig it up and look through it. And
What would you
hopefully-
put in there, Josh? If you had to pick something, what would it be?
I don't have a clue what anybody in 50 years would think would be interesting. We as the city council, we're signing a proclamation. I don't even know what the proclamation is going to say. It's going to have my signature on it, they said.
I'm
So,
gonna look around.
yeah. Do you see anything in the room?
Yeah, I think I would.
Oh, a little football?
Yeah, a little football. It says Josh Blevins for city council. I put
Yeah.
that in there because that's historic.
I don't know that it's historic.
Would that
but
fit?
that would fit in the time capsule. I don't know.
I'm gonna submit that.
Yeah,
Josh,
submit that.
in
See.
honor of Josh Blevins.
Well, I don't know about that, but yeah, they are accepting. Something like if you wanted to, I don't know, write a letter about your family history
Yeah.
that's been here a long time and that type of stuff. So
Yeah, well,
yeah, so go get you an application and submit that. I think the deadline was sometime in June. There's a post on our Facebook that has all that information. So go be part of the time capsule. So,
all right.
and especially if you're really young, like if you're in your 20s,
You
you
got
can
a
probably
chance to go back.
submit it,
Yeah.
and you could be there when they dig it up.
Yeah.
So
young guys, get out there.
young
and
people
find something to
especially,
put
go
in.
find
Yeah.
something interesting because then you could come back in 50 years
Yeah.
and see how it held up.
I would
So,
probably put a cell phone in there.
yeah, but in 50 years, who knows? I mean, your phone might be this little thing you like.
Oh,
put
I
in your
know,
eye
I
or
know, but it
ear
would
or-
be for historic perspective.
It would be historic. Yeah,
Yeah.
you'd look at that and think, man, that's crazy. Just like we look at a flip phone now and say, what's that thing? So,
Man,
yeah.
sometimes a flip phone sounds good.
Yeah, it does. Yeah, after your phone buzzes one too many times.
Yeah.
So. All right, I think that is enough of the week that just happened. I think maybe we could hear from a
Yeah.
sponsor, and then we will talk from what is going to come up in the upcoming week, which there's a lot going on.
Yeah.
So.
All right, we'll be right back.
For clear vision and trusted care, choose Cutting Edge Optical. We offer comprehensive eye exams powered by 2020 exams, expert contact lens fittings, and a wide selection of quality frames to match your style and budget. Need glasses fast? We even offer same-day eyeglasses to keep you seeing clearly without the wait. Our experienced team is committed to personalized service and helping you see your best every day. Visit Cutting Edge Optical at 1114 North Main Street in Shelbyville or call 931-488-5778 to schedule your appointment today.
Get the results you want with the personalized service you deserve at Dennis Young Insurance Agency.
As a local independent agency, we offer coverage from several different companies, including Erie. So whether it's auto, home, life, personal, or business, we can find the right coverage to meet your unique insurance needs. And with a rate lock advantage, your rates won't go up as long as you do not change drivers, autos, or addresses. Contact us at Dennis Young Insurance Agency, insuring Shelbyville and surrounding areas since 1988.
When you're ready to buy or sell in Middle Tennessee, you want someone who knows this community inside and out. Meet Diane and Madison Arnold, Shelbyville's trusted real estate team with decades of local experience and award-winning results. Whether it's finding your dream home, pricing your property to sell, or navigating every step of the transaction with confidence, they're with you from start to finish. As part of Coldwell Banker Southern Realty, they pair hometown expertise with powerful market tools to help you move with confidence. Call Diane and Madison today and experience the personal service and local knowledge that makes all the difference.
All righty. We want to thank our sponsors for allowing us to do the weekend wrap-up show here. Josh, take a look at a week ahead and give us a highlight or a preview.
Preview of what's coming up. Let's talk about today. I'm going to give you the abbreviated version. We talked earlier. Later today, we've got art, cars, strawberries, and fish. So, yeah.
And
go and do all that.
clogging with the strawberries.
There was clogging last year. The strawberries might be as well. Tomorrow is make sure you talk to your mama day.
Yeah.
So if you got a mama, go talk to her. It's Mother's Day tomorrow. So this is we're doing go through Josh's calendar. So this is how we're doing this.
So
Monday, pre-planning meeting. Monday morning, that is the meeting where we talk about what's going to be on next month's agenda at the city planning committee. So I'll be at that and we'll see what's happening. That evening, Bedford County Republicans will get together and talk about the primary that just happened. Everybody that won will be happy and there and ready to run for election in August. So Tuesday, we have, this is kind of a big one, although this is not a big one that a bunch of people will be at, but this is big for the city. At 2:00, we will be opening bids for the flood pump installation. There has been money set aside that goes back to COVID, I believe, for several years, however far back that goes when they first got it. And it is because they need to replace the flood pumps, which are way past their useful life. The flood pumps have been sitting. I probably shouldn't say where they're sitting. No, nobody's got to steal them. Take your credit. I believe they're sitting over by the wastewater plant currently.
Yeah.
But they need to be installed. So they're going to open the bids, and we're going to keep our fingers crossed that the bids stay under the amount of money that they've saved and set aside, because they had a guess, but the guess was quite a while ago. So,
oh boy.
Yeah. So there is a dollar amount that is set aside for this. And if the bids come in way over, we still got to do it. So we're hoping to come in near the amount of money that's set aside.
Okay.
That's the issue. And I don't know about that, probably about 2:15 or 2:30 on Tuesday. That one's kind of big because it will affect the city budget if, God forbid, they come in way over what we're expecting.
Well,
we got to do it either way.
And it corrects if it doesn't. And moving forward, it's just a good correction for the city.
Yeah.
I mean,
well, it has to be done. They've already bought the pumps.
Yeah.
The pumps are sitting there. The ones that are in there are past their lifespan, so it's got to be done. So we'll hope.
Way past.
We will hope that everything is good. 7:00 Tuesday evening, I will be at this. This is the county commission meeting. They will be having some type of a vote on the senior property tax freeze. My hope is it will be a vote on whether or not to approve. There's multiple things they could do from the floor, though, to try to stall or do different things, but it is on the agenda, so it can't be skipped on the agenda.
Right.
Something will happen on the tax freeze Tuesday evening. 7:00, historic courthouse. Rotary's having a lunch on Wednesday. We don't need to cover that. Thursday morning, we'll have a brief meeting to talk about this new health insurance plan for city employees. And then Thursday evening, starting as early as the public part of the meeting starts at 4:45, we'll be interviewing candidates for the power board. And then at 6:00, we'll have the meeting where we're going to vote on a ton of stuff. We have a 4-page agenda.
Will that entire interview process be live streamed?
I believe it was last
time.
Last
year.
Yeah, I think it was. So I think they'll all be on YouTube. If you want to see people talk about getting on the power board, more power to you. Go ahead and watch it on YouTube,
that's fun.
I guess. So yeah,
get the popcorn out.
So yeah. And then the actual voting council meeting is 4-page agenda. So I don't think that one's going to fly through quickly.
No.
So that could last a minute.
Could be a marathon.
It could be a marathon. And I will leave from there to head to Knoxville because my son is graduating from University of Tennessee Friday morning at 9 a.m. So
you got a busy
congratulations to
week.
him. So yes, he's getting his master's degree, and I got to be there.
You got to be there.
Got to be there.
Yes.
So yeah. So
all right.
Busy week, a lot going on that's important here locally.
Yeah.
So
always
pay attention. Come back and join us next week, and we'll have
we'll run over it again.
So
all right, guys, thanks for watching. Thanks for hanging in there with us. Get out and go to one of these events. If you hadn't already been to one, if you have, go to another one.
4 still to get to: art, cars, strawberries, or fish.
If you go out your driveway and turn left or right, you're going to run into something to do.
You're going to find